What's up, guys? Tim House with DragBoss Garage and John and Kyle with APD, Advanced Product Design. So we're doing a video together on some carb tuning. It's going to be a series. We had made an initial video on adjusting the idle, which was kind of lengthy. We're trying to shorten this up just to be a few minutes, just to get to the meat and potatoes of what we want to do. One of the things that we heard on the last video is that you couldn't hear us very well sometimes and you couldn't see. So we're making this so you can see very well what we're doing. And if there's any questions, I'll even add some closer video on here. But just to look at the carburetor, this is a Dominator style billet enforcer. So this is the primary side here. You can see here the primary throttle adjustment is here. The secondary is back here. That opens the secondaries. For the throttle blades, you adjust it back here on the other side. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, and that we've mentioned on the other video, there's many things that you want to do in a sequence that's important to do. One of the main things to do, which I've never done, is to make sure you undo the throttle linkage, warm up the car, undo the throttle linkage to set the idle. Because that can change how the throttle blades are open. John may expound on that.
Correct, and it's very important not to omit any of these steps. As simple as they may seem, I've seen people struggle with carburetors for months over not doing a simple instruction. So it's important to do this step by step and do not omit any of the steps.
Okay. One of the main things I learned was that the throttle position, you usually want it right here in this hole right here. Am I right, John?
Normally up top.
The top.
The top hole will slow the linkage down.
Okay.
The bottom holes will speed it up, generally will lead to stumble and other issues. So most of the time, the top hole is the hole of choice.
This one right here. So try to use that when you can. What other things have you thought about as far as you can change the idle? Throttle cable?
Throttle cable, anything hanging up on the linkage, sometimes not even the length of the throttle cable, but throttle cables get liquid in them, they rust.
Sure.
I mean, all that needs to move free, and in today's sport, it's important that everything works the way it should.
Or you get binding.
Correct.
So we're going to do the proper procedure. He's just going to unscrew everything. So go ahead, John.
Okay, we'll set this like a lot of typical carburetors come in that may have an idle or a stumble problem.
Okay. Now what he's doing is unadjusting or adjusting the primary and secondary throttle blades. So this is obviously going to give you an erratic idle if it's going to even idle at all.
Yeah, so real quick, what we just did there is, and you're going to have a hard time seeing it, so I'm going to make it drastic. That way you can visualize it here just a little bit more.
I think what you're alluding to is that when it's not adjusted right, you're going to see different light coming through the throttle blades.
Correct. So now we have a throttle plate here that's open a fair amount, and we have one here that's almost closed. Well, what will happen is this is into the transfer slot. So now your idle fuel has no effect. The idle mixer screws on the side will not even make an adjustment because it's bypassing that circuit to the transfer slot. Then in the back we have one that's completely closed. So that causes, without getting into great explanation, when the car transfers, that causes the fuel mixture to get very lopsided and will lead to erratic idle, cold to warm. It will lead to an idle that drops when you put it in gear too much. It will cause a rich condition and definitely can cause stumbles. So ideally you want the front and the back blades equal. And there's times we'll bias them a fair amount, but we're talking maybe a half a turn or something of that nature. For the most part, we want an equal, and there is a correct and an incorrect way to get to that result.
So we're going to adjust the primary side first. And I zoomed in so we can get a good look at it.
All right, so once again, you want to make sure that the primary idle adjustment is backed off so that there is an air gap in between the screw and the bracket.
Perfect.
Then you want to turn this in until you can just see it touch the bracket. And as you can see, it just slightly moved there.
Yep.
So right there is where it's just touching.
Yep.
Then you want to go to the secondary. Same thing, make sure you have air gap in there. Now you want to turn it in just until you can see it touch. You can see it just slightly move there, so we know we're touching. We can back that off, we're right there. So now that we have both of those just touching, and it's important not to do this out of sequence, so don't turn it until it touches, then adjust it. You want to do this in this order. And we go 2.5 turns. Now we can go around to the front, 2.5 turns. And then we want to adjust the anti-stick linkage. And this is so that the secondary cannot partially hang up after a burnout or things of that nature. And how you want to adjust that is you want to turn this in just until it touches that pin. And you can feel the drag, just till it barely touches. And then you want to back it off 1/2 turn. And then set your lock nut. And I know, you know, some people, this is knowledge they're learning. Other people think this is redundant knowledge, but it's very important when tuning on carburetors that you learn the basics before you ever move on into the deep theory of them. So I think it's very important that we get these basics down before we move forward into reasons of setting, you know, accelerator pumps and things different ways. If you don't know how to set them, we can't intelligently change the settings.
All right, John, so that's it about adjusting the idle, at least the throttle blades, the first step. We're going to have more adjustment as we move on with another series of videos. One of the things I had a question about was the accelerator pump. You know, people always ask about adjustment. We're going to do a video on that separately, but when does that come in the sequence of adjustment? When do you do the accelerator pump adjustment?
So you want to do this after the idle is completely set.
Okay.
And the reason being is as you open this throttle, you will see this moves down.
Correct.
So if you was to set that now, when this went back to an idle, you would have a lot of gap there.
Okay.
Vice versa, if this was the other way and you was to set it,
Yep.
and you were this way, you would lose a lot of your travel there, which can cause stumbles. So
Okay.
after the idle set, there's reasons to set them differently, but as a baseline and to start out, basically you want to adjust this so there's about a 5/1000 feeler gauge that you can slide through
Okay.
there with a little bit of friction. Do that front end back, and that'll get you real close, at least to start out.
So when you get that 5/1000 clearance, that's with the throttle blade closed
That is
or open?
That is with the throttle blade closed.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Any questions, put them in the comments, and we'll get them back to John or Joe. We'll get the questions answered. So stay tuned for the next video.